Some stories make us laugh, some stories inspire us, and some stories remind us where we came from. Welcome to Brick Bar's History Files. Rome, the empire that conquered much of the known world, built magnificent roads, massive arenas, and laws that still influence civilization today. But according to ancient tradition, Rome's story didn't begin with peace. It began with betrayal, abandoned children, murder, kidnapping, and legends so unbelievable that historians still debate where history ends and myth begins. The twins. According to Roman tradition, King Romulus feared a prophecy. His brother's descendants, he believed, would one day overthrow him. To stop that future, he ordered twin infants, Romulus and Remus, to be abandoned. The river, however, had other plans. Their basket drifted safely onto the riverbank, where one of history's greatest legends was about to begin. The she-wolf mystery. Most people know the famous story. A she-wolf discovered the twins and nursed them into their own. It became one of Rome's most recognizable symbols, but history becomes even more fascinating here. Some scholars point out that the Latin word lupa could refer to both a she-wolf and, in some contexts, a prostitute. Could the original story have described a woman whose memory slowly transformed into a wolf through centuries of storytelling? Other later Roman traditions even describe a woodpecker, a bird sacred to Mars, bringing food to the children. Whether these stories were meant literally, symbolically, or somewhere in the middle, they reveal how legends evolve over time. Brother against brother. As adults, the twins agreed on one thing. They would build a city, but they could not agree where. Ancient writers described arguments over omens, birds, and divine approval. Then the argument turned violent. Romulus killed Remus. The city would bear only one brother's name, Rome. From its very beginning, the city's own legend remembered bloodshed, not harmony. The city of outsiders. Rome had a problem. A city needs people. According to Roman historians such as Livy, Romulus established an asylum. Its gates stood open. Runaway slaves, refugees, exiles, men escaping debt, displaced people looking for another chance. Rome welcomed them. Rather than being united by family, Rome united strangers. Some historians believe this openness helped Rome grow faster than neighboring communities. Its strength came from people willing to begin again. The Sabine Women. Rome had survived, its walls were rising, its population was growing, but the young city faced a crisis that threatened its future. Most of Rome's early settlers were men. Without families, without wives, there would be no next generation. Romulus first attempted diplomacy. According to ancient Roman writers, he asked neighboring communities to allow marriages between their daughters and Rome citizens. The answer was no. Many neighboring people viewed Rome as little more than a settlement of outsiders, runaways, refugees, and men with uncertain pasts. No respectable family wanted to join them. Romulus needed another solution, or so the legend says. Romulus invited the neighboring Sabians and other communities to a grand festival. There were games, music, food, and celebration. Then, according to Roman tradition, everything changed. At a signal from Romulus, Roman men seized many of the unmarried Sabine women. While their families fled in confusion, ancient Roman authors describe this event as an abduction intended to secure wives for the city's future. It remains one of the most controversial episodes in Rome's legendary founding. Whether every detail happened exactly as described, or whether later writers reshaped the story, historians continue to debate. The Sabines did not forget. Fathers, brothers, and husbands marched toward Rome. War erupted. The future of the young city hung in the balance. A conflict that had begun with a festival was now being decided by the sword. Then, according to Roman tradition, something remarkable happened. The very women whose abduction had started the conflict walked into the battlefield, standing between fathers and brothers and husbands and children. They pleaded for the fighting to stop. If either side won, they argued, they would lose someone. The battle ended not with total victory, but with reconciliation. According to Roman tradition, the Romans and Sabines united their people, their families, and eventually their futures became intertwined. Whether every detail of the story is historical or partly legendary, the message was clear. Rome did not see itself as a civilization born from one people alone. Its own founding stories describe a city shaped by conflict, forged through compromise, and strengthened by the joining of different communities. That idea would become one of the defining themes of Roman history. From the village to empire. Whether Romulus truly founded Rome or whether the story became a legend over centuries, one fact is undeniable. The tiny settlement beside the Tiber River would become one of history's greatest civilizations. According to Roman tradition, 7 kings ruled the city during its earliest years. Each was remembered for shaping Rome in different ways, building walls, creating religious traditions, and forming laws, and expanding the growing settlement. Then, around 509 BC, everything changed. The Romans overthrew their last king. Rather than placing power into one ruler, they created a republic. Government would now be shared among elected officials, magistrates, and the Senate. It was an experiment unlike anything the ancient world had seen. Rome continued to grow. Its disciplined legions marched further each generation, bringing neighboring cities, kingdoms, and eventually entire nations under Roman rule. From the forests of Britain to the deserts of North Africa, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Middle East, Rome connected millions of people beneath one government. But Rome's greatest strength wasn't only its army, it was organization. The Romans built thousands of miles of roads, many so well engineered that parts remain visible today. These roads allowed soldiers, merchants, and ideas, along with cultures, to travel further than ever before. Aqueducts carried fresh water across mountains and valleys, supplying growing cities with clean water through remarkable engineering. Massive bridges, public baths, forums, libraries, and temples transformed daily life. Then came one of history's most recognizable landmarks, the Colosseum, capable of holding tens of thousands of spectators. It became a symbol of Roman power, entertainment, and architectural brilliance. Some also developed legal systems, engineering techniques, military strategy, and a common language that influenced civilization for centuries. Its achievements would shape Europe, the Middle East, and eventually most of the modern world. From one small settlement, whether born from history, legend, or both, Rome became an empire whose influence can still be seen nearly every day. Roads and government and architecture, language, law, the city that began with 2 brothers would change the world. Strange parallels. As Rome's story spread across the ancient world, many readers began noticing something intriguing. Some of its legendary themes seem to echo stories found in other ancient traditions. These comparisons have fascinated historians, theologians, and writers for centuries. They are observations about recurring themes, not proof that one story came directly from another. One of the most discussed comparisons involves two brothers in Rome's founding legend. Romulus kills Remus and then establishes the city of Rome. In the book of Genesis, Cain kills his brother Abel and later becomes associated with building the first city. The similarities have inspired discussion for generations. Most historians, however, view these stories as separate traditions that may reflect common storytelling themes rather than direct historical connection. Another comparison centers on metalworking. Genesis describes Tubal-Cain as an early craftsman associated with working bronze and iron. In Roman religion, Vulcan became the god of fire, volcanoes, and the forge. Both figures are connected with humanity's mastery of metal, an innovation that transformed civilization through stronger tools, weapons, and architecture. Most scholars see this as another example of cultures independently honoring the importance of metalworkers rather than the evidence that the traditions share a common historical origin. Fire itself has carried powerful meaning. Throughout human history, it can destroy, but it can also refine. It provides warmth, creates tools, and allows civilizations to grow. Across many cultures, volcanoes, flames, and the forge became symbols of both danger and creation. The Romans associated these forces with Vulcan. Other civilizations developed different stories, yet often arrived at similar symbols. These recurring ideas remind us that ancient people frequently looked to nature when explaining the mysteries of the world around them. History is filled with patterns. Different civilizations often ask the same questions. Where do we come from? Why do kingdoms rise and fall? What can be learned from conflict, family, or sacrifice? Sometimes their answers sound remarkably similar. Sometimes they are completely different. For historians, these parallels are fascinating subjects of study. Similarities alone do not establish that one tradition borrowed directly from another. Instead, they remind us that people across the ancient world wrestled with many of the same mysteries, and perhaps they shared the same search of meaning as one of history's greatest connections. History or legend? So how much of Rome's founding story is history, and how much belongs to legend? Modern archaeology has revealed that people were living on Rome's hills centuries before the city became an empire. Excavations on the Palatine Hill have uncovered the remains of early huts, stone walls, pottery, and traces of small farming communities dating back to the 8th century BC, remarkably close to the traditionally date that the later Roman writers gave for the founding of Rome. While archaeology cannot identify Romulus or Remus, it does confirm that a growing settlement existed during the period when the legendary founders were said to have lived. Much of what we know about Rome's earliest traditions come from ancient authors, such as Livy, Plutarch, and Dionysius of Halicarnassus. The challenge is that these writers lived centuries after Rome's legendary founding. They relied on older traditions, oral histories, lost records, and stories passed down through generations. Their writing preserved Rome's memory of its own origins, but they are not eyewitness accounts. Archaeology and ancient literature often work together, yet they do not always tell exactly the same story. That is where history becomes both challenging and fascinating. Did a she-wolf truly raise two abandoned brothers? Did Romulus really build Rome with his own hands? Did every event unfold exactly as the ancient stories described? History cannot answer every one of these questions, What archaeology reveals and what ancient writers recorded sometimes overlap and sometimes leave space for interpretation. For historians, that uncertainty is not a weakness, it is an invitation to keep searching. Every discovery, every inscription, and every excavation helps us understand a little more about the people who had transformed a small settlement beside the Tiber into one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. Whether Rome has began exactly as legends claim, or whether centuries of storytelling reshaped its earliest memories, its influence is beyond question. From law to language, architecture, engineering, government, and military strategy, the legacy of Rome still surrounds us today. Perhaps that is why its origin story continues to endure, not because every detail can be proven, but because it speaks to timeless human questions about courage, ambition, family, conflict, and the rise of civilizations. History leaves us evidence, legends preserve identity, and somewhere between the two, we often discover the stories that shaped the world. Thank you for joining us on another journey through the past. Until next time, this has been Brick Bars History Files. Because history isn't just about what happened, it's about discovering why it still matters today.